face. Why not? What is happening, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's Boss Up and List Day on Wednesday. If you're a dad or you're Karen from the office, you're probably going to say it's Hump Day.
If you're a dad?
Yeah.
Only dads call it Hump Day?
Well, just like really obnoxious people that say really cliche sayings and talk about Hump Day. I really got a case of the Mondays, everybody. You got a case of the Mondays?
We haven't even started yet, and you're already annoying me.
It's Hump Day.
So,
what's Boss Up and List Day?
Right now, it's the day that I'm trying to not kill you.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're so rude. Seriously though, what's Boss Up and List Day? Jeez.
Boss Up and List Day is the all-day virtual listing party that we hold in the Boss Facebook group. If you're not in it by now, what the hell are you waiting for? It's not like you're out working. Join the group. The list is below. The link is below. We try to be a positive and uplifting group. Of course, that is difficult in certain times, one of them being right now, but we still try.
Did you ever know that you're my
Oh, no. Stop. Just stop.
No?
Stop.
I guess you're not wanting to be uplifting anymore.
Nope, not at all.
You don't want to be the one minute wings. But
so, welcome in, everyone. Clearly, we're going a little stir crazy here. I don't know about you guys. We're in Nevada. Those of you that don't know, we live in Las Vegas, just outside of Las Vegas. And we've kind of been under governor's shutdown for 10 days now. But we were shut down personally for about a week before that.
Our last social outing was the 12th.
Yeah.
And even then we were kind of like, we were not really wanting to, but it was going out for trivia night. But actually it ended up being fine, but we were very conscious of keeping our social distance. I think there
were only six of us.
I think we did like elbow.
Yeah, there was no hugging.
No hugging.
Normally we hug our friends. There was no hugging.
Yeah, so we did like a little elbow through the jacket, elbow tap. And that was on the 12th. And that day we were like, this is going to be the last time we go out, and that was socially.
And there were only 6 of us that night. So one of them being our buddy Greg DuPage Picker, who just moved here and brought the coronavirus with him.
Yeah.
So thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
So he got here and he's socially isolated from the minute he moves here. The poor guy.
He got one hang time before everything shut down here. But why is this spinning? I just want to refresh this and make sure that it's going okay. Is everybody seeing us okay?
Do these pajamas make me look fat? I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I said it earlier today, I think my fat pants are tight at this point. All we're doing is sitting at home and eating, and we're working as much as we possibly can. We're still shipping, we're still selling. It's not as much as normal, but we're still doing it. I have 6 things to ship out today. I had a good day yesterday. I had a $400 day yesterday, so I'm not going to complain. The day before that, I had a $20 day though. So it's
weird. It's like the sales are trickling in, but on the other side of it, we haven't been spending any money other than going out when we got our groceries. So it's like not much money is going out. So it's been okay. But yeah, our last social outing was on the 12th, and then we've been out for grocery trips since then. And then we did like just at the beginning of that week after the 12th, we did like a little bit of sourcing because we kind of knew that it was only a matter of time before they shut everything down. But we were pretty conscious like of staying like as far away from people as possible and like keep washing our hands using like we have
crazy hand sanitizer
in the car. We've got Lysol wipes in the car. And then since the order, we've been like really, really on lockdown. So today we went out for like the first time in a couple of days. And that day all we did was go for a drive. But we did go get coffee. It's funny because we had our, like they're being very careful at Dutch Brothers about what they touch and what they don't touch. But we still have our Lysol wipes ready to like wipe everything down. But we did go get coffee. And then we went to the storage unit and I had like the Lysol wipe on my ET finger, the Lysol wipe on my finger. And I was punching the code into the pad and then like wiping down the door knobs on both sides. So we're being kind of, we're trying to be as careful as possible. But
yeah, it is what it is. We're trying. Yeah, Liz came to DuPage. Hey, Vegas, I've arrived. Vegas, we're closed. That's pretty much what happened to the poor guy. I feel bad.
Sorry.
He's in his new rental area and just like on lockdown.
Yeah.
Like I feel bad.
So yeah, so there's definitely some limitations to being able to source. Now I know there's some of you, a lot of you, I don't know however many of you out there, you have your death piles or your profit piles. So you're actually kind of in a position where you're almost forced to like get to work on those death piles, but you're also fortunate enough to actually have stuff to work on and to list. But then there's people like us where we like to toot our own horns all the time about how awesome and on the ball we are. Where we source and then we immediately get it all listed. Well, you know what, guys? Joke's on us because
now we're screwed.
Now we're stuck with like practically nothing to list. So you just had your last drop off from Crystal.
Yep.
Which so she dropped it off and then stood back and then you guys talked from 10 feet apart.
Seriously. So yeah, so she listed 93 items for me last week in draft. So I have 93 items to make live. You know, I tweak the titles, I price them, you know, for the most part, she does the photos and she does all the measurements and she does the basics of the listing, which is 99% of the work, right? It takes me about 30 seconds to do the rest. And then I take them and I cross post them on 4 sites. So I have 93 items. I put up 14. I have 80 left. Let's say I put up 13 yesterday. So I have 80 left. I'm doing about 10 a day. So there you go. Do the math. It's 8 days left to get those listings listed.
And you have a few things to photograph.
I have about 50 items at home, maybe 60 that I've picked up over the past couple weeks because we haven't been sourcing. So I also haven't been photographing our listings. So I have about 50 or 60 items that I guess is my only death pile. It's not really a death pile. That I can photograph and list myself, 50 or 60 hard good items. So that's all I'm gonna
get, like 2 or 3 weeks maybe.
Yeah, I've got about 2 or 3 weeks. And I think that I you know, that'll, if I ration it to 10 listings a day, I can get through it.
Yeah. I see Jason, Thrift Trader, is in the house, so he feels awkward about being as cautious as possible. But you know what? F it. It's true. You want to be super careful, and you've got kids at home, so it's
you have 2 little ones at home, so you know you've got to be more careful. And I know different parts of the country are on different restrictions. Some don't have any restrictions depending on where you live. They're just doing the whole, you know, no groups larger than 10 suggestion. We're pretty much shut down. Vegas is closed. Like you know, we can do takeout food orders. We haven't at all.
Well, we bought so much food. I mean, we didn't go crazy, but what we did is we stocked up on non-perishable stuff to get us through, like, if we really, really couldn't go out. So we were thinking, like, if we actually get sick, if one of us is sick, then we really don't want to be interacting with anybody. And so we kind of stocked up on like non-perishables, and then we stocked up on more perishable stuff. So it's like it'd be silly for us to also do takeout. Although a lot of places are doing like really big deals. Discounts.
They're doing like 25 and 30% off your bill, which they're trying to bring some revenue into the establishment. So I don't have a problem with that. We bought so much that I feel like it's not smart to spend the money.
So Allison says, I'm sourcing my own inventory and there are so many things I forgot about. I'm still getting my thrifting fix. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I just finished photographing and measuring and all that stuff. I have about 70 items. Like, I photographed everything that I have. I have about 70 items. And so that's going to last me, I mean, maybe it's going to last me a week. So, you know, there's a lot of different things though that you can do to source during this time, and you just have to think a little bit more creatively about it. Now, for me, I do have access to, you know, Barry's here, Afro Vintage. He has a storage unit. He said we can come shop it. You know, we're trying to limit as much as possible going out, but if it came down to it, like, I would feel comfortable going to his storage unit, going to yesterday's fits and meeting up with Jesse, which is closed, but he's there. And just making sure, like, I stay back and maybe, like, I go through the stuff, pick out the stuff I want, and not have him touch anything. And then I can bring it home and wash it right away. Like, there's precautions to take. So I do have some options here. But what are some other things? Like, what could you possibly do? Or what are some
So I had created a post. I've done this a few times in the past, just to remind people what I do for a living. But I think it's important that right now you should remind people what you do for a living. People in your life, your social media friends. Maybe for me, not Instagram, because everyone that follows me on Instagram is another reseller, so that's not going to work for me. But on Facebook, you know, I have 630 friends, let's say. Probably 200 of them are other reseller friends, which is fantastic. But the other ones are not. My friends are all over the country, but for my local friends, I created a post, and Dana had done it last week, and I've seen a few other friends do it, and I've done it in the past. I created a post today telling people, reminding people, this is what I do for a living. If you're home and you're cleaning out your garage, your basement, your closets, a lot of people are cleaning and purging and they're organizing because they're home and they're bored and it's time to do it. I will pick up anything that you're wanting to donate. I will come to your house. I will do
leave it on the sidewalk.
Leave it. I don't care. Leave it on your porch. Leave it on the sidewalk. We don't have to talk. Social distancing is fine.
Yep.
I will pick up items from your house. I will use and list things that work for me. And if they don't work for me, I'll either donate them to another reseller or donate them back to Goodwill, which was probably their intention in the first place. So I'm hoping to get some sourced items that way. And I encourage you to do the same thing if this is something that you do for a living. Jason has Thrift Trader has a thrift store that he just closed the doors on. So he's got plenty, I'm sure, to source through. But
even before that, I think we know about Jason, his little problem with storage units and whatnot. I'm sure he has more than enough. As he says, hoarders are getting the last laugh. Hashtag I win.
It's true.
Well, and the thing is, like,
as Alexa said, who's a hoarder now, bitches? It's true.
You know, and it's like, yes, you want to be really careful and be overly cautious, I think is probably the best way to do it. I've heard things like the virus can potentially stay like on clothing and fabric for like 3 days or so. They say
there's a lot of differing information. I don't think anybody really knows for sure.
So let me finish what I'm saying. And I've also heard like metallic surfaces, it can be up to like 9 or 10 days. So there's definitely precautions you can take. So let's say you pick up a bag of clothing from a friend's. You can bring the bag home, sit it out in your garage or something, let it sit there for a week or so, dump it all into your washer. It's going to, just there's things you can do to be extra cautious.
Yeah, dump it into your washing machine because heat will kill the germs, just like when you wash
detergent and stuff.
Just when you wash clothing from a thrift store. Yeah, you can wear gloves, dump the bag straight in. You can stick it in your garage, put it in your backyard. Put it in your backyard for a few days. I mean, depending on where you live. I know the weather doesn't work for everybody, but yeah.
I've had a couple buyers like message me and say, what part of the country is this coming from? I'm a little worried with the current situation. And I basically just said to them, like, listen, I'll mail it to you and you can always just set it. It's going to take a couple days to get to you. Set it aside. Don't touch the package or do anything with the package for a few days, and then just take it out and wash it. Make sure you wash your hands. Like, for the most part, you should be covered with something like that. But
yeah, I mean, a lot of places are, burn it then sell the ashes. Yeah. Jason says, yeah, that's a little bit excessive. Yeah.
Well, if you can't get enough from like your friends by, asking them to donate while they're going stir crazy and they can clean out stuff, you could always do a listing in Facebook Marketplace. People are stuck at home. People might be hungry for, looking for any way to like make a little bit of extra cash. So maybe even saying like, I'll pay $10 for a big garbage bag of clothing, or I don't even know what, like, obviously you don't want to spend a ton of money. You're not going to know what the value of anything is. But even if it's just a little bit, it might make people more likely to contact you.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to source. It's also a good way to help other people looking to make some cash. This is the time to be creating those ads, even the ads for paying for people. Like, I buy XYZ, contact me, whatever it may be. Maybe it's electronics, maybe it's board games, maybe it's video game systems, whatever it may be. But I'm not saying this is a time to take advantage of people, but this is also a time where it's a win-win for both people.
People are stuck at home with nothing to do, so they might want to do some crazy spring cleaning. And people also aren't making an income right now. So if they can get rid of some stuff and make a few bucks, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, like, I'm sure you've had friends say, oh, hey, I have XYZ. Would you be interested in it? And it's like months later, you still haven't figured it out yet. We have our friends, Carrie and Joe, that like they've been talking about a bunch of shirts that he has, like vintage. I don't even know, a bunch of T-shirts and stuff like that. It sounds like it might be really cool stuff, and they've been meaning to send us pictures. And I think now's probably the time to be like, hey, come on,
send her a message.
Hey, come on, send us some pictures. We'll send you some money, ship it to us.
Yeah.
And like we have some friends local here in town that own a mechanic shop, and they supposedly have like a ton of like old racing like T-shirts and swag from like the 80s. It's like, come on, maybe we should contact them and be like, come on, let's get it together. Let's do this. anyway, make sure we have, I don't know if people have been like giving any ideas of their own in the chat, but if you have any unique ways that you are doing stuff. Another thing is, some people have death piles and other people are like us and they don't. We did like one thread in the group that was like, hey, here's a place for you to post like lots for sale, like,
to other resellers. Like, let's be reasonable. That's one of the things we don't normally allow for sale posts in the Boss Facebook group, but there is one in there. So if you are interested in either buying or selling, find that thread. It's one thread.
We might do another one soon.
But it's basically just saying, if you're somebody that has huge death piles and you're looking to,
clear out some stuff,
sell a large flat rate box with however much crap you can stick in it for $25 plus the shipping or whatever it may be, whatever your items may be. As long as it's reasonable and it makes sense, it's like someone buying at a store, but you're getting your money back or let's make sense, have it make sense for people. It's a win-win to help people. I
want to say, hey, what's up to Trish?
Hi, Trish.
What's happening?
So we do have a lot of wrenches in the chat. I feel like every single admin we have, because we don't have a lot, but every one of them is in the chat today. So
there's all these people,
guys.
All these people that like over time we've like added. Like I don't even remember when we added Trish as an admin. It must have been forever ago. But the other thing is, just like you have your reseller friends online and different people are sending people different stuff. So I did want to give a really, really big shout out to our friend Noelle.
Speaking of Noelle, Farm Girl Scavenger sent an unsolicited box of crap to us.
Like 13 pounds of just like a bunch of like vintage t-shirts, cool vintage t-shirts and stuff. Hard Rock Cafe. I mean, so it was really cool. It showed up in the mail and you're like, what?
Where'd this come from? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like, some really cool, this is a cool like vintage 90s Marlboro t-shirt. But Noelle, we wanted to say thank you. Yeah, it's seriously like 13 pounds of awesomeness. But we wanted to say thank you to Noelle.
Yeah, thanks,
because
Noelle.
that gives us a little bit of stuff to list. But yeah, like talk to your friends. I'm sure there's lots of people who have ridiculous death piles that they would be willing to share for a little money and shipping and whatnot. But
yeah, so Sandra just said a reselling tip: check out sites like Max Sold and Caring Transitions. They're online auctions and are following COVID guidelines for pickup. Definitely look for online auctions in your area. Some online auction companies ship and some allow you to pick up, and some of them are still doing what they're doing and maintaining guidelines for pickup. So we don't have a lot of online resources here in Las Vegas. We have one or two, but now would be the time to be checking them out because people are not necessarily bidding in person.
Yeah.
So
for sure. So, and then of course there's just going on eBay and different reselling sites and buying, looking around and finding stuff that's like priced at a low enough price that you can buy it and flip it. A lot of times, that's what I do when I'm bored and I'm wanting to, I haven't done it yet. I should, but every, couple of months I'll go on a buying spree on eBay and Mercari and even Etsy. Mercari is a really good one to get some good cheap prices though. But I'll either buy lots of t-shirts or I'll buy individual t-shirts or sweatshirts where I know I can sell them for like triple, quadruple the price. But
I'm not even sourcing right now. I mean, just because I have enough to get me through the next few weeks as far as listing, I'm conserving the funds because we always know the sourcing is the fun part, right? It's never difficult to spend the money. But I'm conserving funds by not sourcing right now because I don't need to.
Right.
I'm going to get to the point where I will in another couple of weeks. So, I will probably do that. I'll keep an eye on stuff, but I'm hoping some of my friends will come through with some donated stuff. We have a lot of friends in the area that are now stuck at home.
Yeah. I'm probably going to start really looking on like eBay and stuff for some lots of like t-shirts and stuff like that. Cause usually you can get a lot of them, because they're easy to ship together. And that way I'll be supporting other sellers and hopefully start getting some stuff in. Cause really I probably could completely just do online sourcing during this whole lockdown and not go anywhere unless there's a super good deal.
You have a specific niche. So for you, you don't want to ask your friends to just donate random shit to you.
I don't want it.
For me, I don't mind going through the random shit. If you send me if I go pick up 2 garbage bags full of crap from your house and I only get 10 things that I'd be willing to sort to sell, it doesn't mean that there are not things in there that I would pass along to one of my friends, like my friend Corey. Corey likes to sell jeans and she'll sell them at a lower price point than I necessarily would, but she likes them. So if I got a bunch of them that are like, Abercrombie or American Eagle jeans or something like that, I wouldn't want to sell them, but I know that she would, so I would just give them to her.
Yeah, for sure.
That type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so there's definitely still options. I mean, it just depends on what kind of stuff you personally source and sell. But there are ways to be creative about it if you are one of those people who just doesn't have any kind of death pile to work from or profit pile to work from, or if you're just somebody who just likes going thrifting and you're feeling like, man, this really sucks, and you're jonesing for it. Seriously, go do some browsing.
Corey's in the chat. She's like, yeah.
So go do some browsing on Mercari and some of those other selling sites. I feel like they tend to have lower prices and you can get better deals, and they also tend to have people who are more higher concentration of hobby sellers, I should say. So people who aren't necessarily paying attention to what stuff sells for, and you're going to find some crazy deals where you're like, what? I mean, I've found some really awesome stuff from Mercari. I've never sold on Mercari, but I buy there all the time. So it's definitely a good deal.
So Jen, you definitely should hook up with Corey. You've said before you have a huge amount of inventory, and if you're looking to make some quick cash and do reseller boxes, there's nothing like selling to another boss stranger friend.
Yeah, for sure.
There are reseller boxes all over. Lots of resellers are doing them. Lots of resellers specialize in them. There's nothing wrong with that. I think there's something to be said if we can help each other within this community. Those of you that have death piles and want to make some quick money, reach out to each other. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Sure, it works. I mean, even in my regular sourcing, I mean, I depend, because of how I operate, and I don't do as much thrifting myself, I depend on almost like that middle person that goes and buys stuff so that I can go to them and pay up a little to get the kind of stuff that I want to get. And so it's like, for me, it's beneficial that I have somebody like Barry who goes almost every day, I think, to like yard sales and thrift stores, and
he does really good at sourcing.
He's really good at sourcing, and I know every few months when I'm looking to buy some stuff, I know I can depend on him to deliver a bunch of really cool stuff that I can pay for. So I'm hoping that this situation will help connect more people like that. Because
I've already sold. People are talking about puzzles are a hot item. I had about 6 in my store. I've sold them all this week. I don't buy a lot of puzzles. I've sold every one that I have.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've been playing games like every night almost.
Yeah, we've been playing board. I'm kicking her butt every night.
It's true, guys.
It makes me feel pretty good. I'm very good at Trivial Pursuit. I am a font of useless information.
Well, let's be clear though, guys.
Except sports.
Not yet. I'm not good there. Let's be clear though, guys. Like, I'm usually coming in close, and it's like it's not. But
it's a good competition. I'm not trouncing her.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm usually getting close. Like, that's the thing that I love about us together, is that I feel like we're on pretty equal playing ground when it comes to
intelligence,
smartiness.
Until you just said that word. Yes,
smartiness.
I felt like we were equal until you said that.
I wanted to say smartiness. Anyway, we just have different areas that we're better at. So it makes it fun. It makes it challenging. It's fun playing Trivial Pursuit, and it's like, it's no fun if the other person is just winning nonstop, and like you're sitting there with your maybe one pie piece while they've got all 6. So we've actually had some pretty good competition. Anywho, I'll tell you what I'm really bad at. I'm bad at Scrabble. Like, that word.
I'm not good at Scrabble. Yeah, I'm not good at it.
Words with friends, like my sister and I, for instance, Binky. I feel like I probably have more when it comes to like trivia and stuff like that. I have more tidbits of knowledge in my brain, and I would kick her butt every time. But she's really good at words with friends. Like, when I used to play with her online, like, I never had a chance of winning against her. Never.
Cheats. She probably cheats. How? There are ways to cheat at words with friends.
Okay.
I don't do it because I don't play it. But I'm just saying, she's a cheater.
Yeah. No, she's not a cheater. She did used to cheat at Old Maid, though. I will say that. Anyway, guys, we've still have like a half an hour left. So if anybody has any questions, we can make this an Ask Me Anything, Ask Us Anything, whether it's business related, personal. How many of you guys are going crazy? Ooh, I got a good question for you.
I know, Kara, I'm not good at Scrabble. I'm not good at Scrabble, and I'm not good at crosswords.
Well, and
which is odd, because I am a very wordy person, and I read a lot, and I've been told before I use a lot of big words.
She doesn't read good. Well, and that's the thing that's really interesting about it, Kara, is that similarly, like, I grew up reading a lot. My dad got rid of our TV when I was 4. We didn't get it again for like a good almost 10 years. So I read all the time. And I think both of us have a pretty decent vocabulary, probably above average vocabulary.
I am still a voracious reader. I read every day.
Absolutely. So I think that there's like a special skill that goes into Scrabble that's not just about having like the vocabulary for it.
Yeah, whatever the skill may be, I don't have it.
Yeah, I'm good at crossword puzzles.
It's creating the words. Yeah, I'm not great at it.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got Ask Me Anything questions. Teresa is back with her AMA questions.
Well, so the question I wanted to ask our audience, I wanted to ask you guys is, okay, so we're on lockdown. Some of you guys are also on lockdown. Let's say a month from now, whenever it is, when you're finally able to go do something social, what is the first thing? What's the one thing that you really are looking forward to getting back out and doing? I want to know that. Teresa.
Personally, I'm looking forward to going to the thrift stores because of everyone doing their closet cleanouts right now. There is going to be some good shit in the stores in another month or two, or whenever the heck we're able to venture out into the real world.
So Teresa wants to know, if you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time?
Read, probably.
Yeah. Probably like work a little more.
I wouldn't work a little bit more, but I would probably read. I would probably read or take online college courses, especially now they're doing a lot of courses that you can take online for free. If I had more hours in my day, that's what I would do. I would read, or I would take educational courses, because I like school. I've always liked school. I like to learn. Yeah, for sure. I'm a dork. Sorry.
So Kara's saying that we should play Words with Friends together. What, so you can kick our asses? Rude. Okay. And then Teresa asked, what state or country do you never want to go back to? I don't know. I don't know that I've ever been anywhere where I'm like, oh, I had such a horrible experience, I don't want to go back there again. Have you?
No, I've been to several states in the country, and the only country I've been to outside of the US is I've been to Mexico a bunch, and Canada and the Virgin Islands and stuff like that. And Jamaica. I probably wouldn't go back to Jamaica. I didn't hate it, but it was pretty dirty.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of Jamaica.
You don't like it when places are dirty? You're kind of a little bit of a pansy?
No, because I've been to Mexico, and lots of places in Mexico are pretty dirty too. But Jamaica was skeevy to me. I wasn't a fan.
All right. There's nowhere, I don't think I've ever been anywhere that I wouldn't want to go back to. And I've been to a lot of places in Southeast Asia, and most of them I would totally go back to. I've been to Cambodia, Nepal. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Seoul, South Korea. All those places I would totally go back to. And of course I've been to Canada, and I've been to Mexico, and I'd pretty much go back to India.
See, Trish agrees with me on Jamaica. Yeah, to be fair, I was young, and it was hedonism, and that's just a shit show to begin with. But
I would listen. There's a documentary out there called Life and Debt, DEBT, that's all about Jamaica and kind of some of the tourism industry and like kind of things that have happened. Like, it's really interesting. It's a really interesting watch.
You know, Liz, I just had this conversation with Katie. I'm half tempted to buy a cheap ticket right now and just gamble it. We'll all be safe by then. So here's the thing. Due to reasons discussed in another video, that was why Katie and I had to postpone our wedding. We needed funds for other things. So we postponed our wedding, which in turn we postponed our honeymoon. We were supposed to be in Italy right about now.
Yeah, so kind of like, thanks. Our whole trip would have been like canceled because we were planning the spring of 2020. So yeah, because we originally were supposed to get married October 5th. But unfortunately, we were in the middle of a lawsuit, and the hearing date was the 3rd, and funds still are kind of up in the air around that because of everything. And so, but we were supposed to be doing our honeymoon like right around now. So it's kind of one of those things where you're like, things just happen for a reason sometimes, because that would have been pretty terrible, because people have had their weddings canceled. They've had, it's just nuts. So
yeah, so we are still planning to go to Italy. It'll probably not be for quite a while, obviously. But it was definitely would have been strange. So Katie and I have the camp that we both volunteer at every July, and we are hoping that camp is not canceled. If anything else, it might be postponed. and that is breaking my heart right now because these kids really, really need this outlet. And I'm not sure that we're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So it's really up in the air right now. But I had talked to Katie. I think I'm going to buy our tickets to camp because the ticket prices are so cheap right now that I should buy the tickets now just in case.
And you should be able to cancel.
Yeah, and I use points at Southwest.
Yeah.
I use points, so I should be able to cancel. You get all your points back. Or if we need to change the date, then you just pay the difference. So I feel like I'm probably going to book the tickets just in case. It's for mid-July, so I mean, here's hoping it's okay. But it is in Washington.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing with us postponing our wedding. So then we were like rescheduling it for the 25th of October this year, but because things are still continuing to drag on and we still don't know where we're going to be at financially by then, we still couldn't do it because it's like if you're planning a wedding, you got to put down usually at least half of a deposit if you want, you had found like a really amazing place in Rhode Island, which is where World Burn is supposed to be this year. But even a really affordable place, it's still going to cost you a good $5,000 to $8,000, right?
Yeah.
And so we couldn't book it. Like you can't book it at that time. So the other part of it that's kind of been like, I guess things happen the way they're supposed to happen or whatever, at least for us, is that we're in this situation right now where finances are really up in the air. And it's like, who knows what's going to happen over the next month, 2 months, 3 months. But guess what? We still got our wedding fund sitting there waiting for us. So if worst comes to worst,
if one of us doesn't bite it from COVID, we're good.
Well, and it's like if sales like completely dry up and we're in trouble, it's like we do have a little tiny bit of a cushion. So I don't know.
Speaking of talking about postponing and things like that, we did just want to let everybody know, obviously we've talked about our Boss Reseller Remix. That is not being canceled. We want people to understand it's not being canceled. But obviously with everything up in the air, we are not going to launch ticket sales yet. We had talked about doing it the first week of April. We're going to put off launching ticket sales until all of us have a better understanding of what's happening in this country.
Tentatively the beginning of May, but again, it's who knows? Who freaking knows, guys? We don't know, and we can't expect
people to book airline tickets and pay for tickets when everything is so unsure right now.
Book a hotel room, so it's like you wouldn't be able to plan. As far as I know, you can't book a hotel room in Vegas right now. So we understand that people are going to be able to plan for that. Luckily, the money that we have put into it so far, like securing the venue and stuff like that, we've already talked to the venue.
Yeah, they're
flexible. They understand.
They're just going to take our money and change if we need to change the date, which we have not yet. But if we need to change the dates, we will. Obviously, everyone will be informed prior to ticket sales.
Yeah.
And we can just transfer our funds and deposits over to other available dates. So we still fully intend to have a reseller remix. If we are absolutely going to need it even more when all of this is over, I think that we're going to need to get together. So we're still going to have it. It's just we're not going to launch ticket sales until we're sure of that the date is secure and that times are not, up in the air just like everybody else. So
yeah, because it's really hard to say right now. We don't know. A month from now, we could be in a very different situation, for better, for worse. We just do not know what it's going to look like. And it sucks. But the most important thing is that everybody just stays safe.
Right. Exactly. Hey, Liz, go ahead and book those tickets to Vegas for $39 round trip. And we'll just spray you with Lysol and you can come to crash with us. We'll laugh.
That's not appropriate. We'll make her stay on the other side of the room.
We'll spray her with Lysol before she comes in.
Is that how it works?
Hold your breath.
I hear if you just spray a blow dryer up your nose, you're totally cured. Because that's how it works, right?
Please don't spread misinformation like that.
Oh my goodness.
Don't be eating the stuff that cleans your fish tank, people.
Stop it. Stop it.
What's wrong with you, morons?
Listen, I'm going to say it. We're not going to get into anything, but I'm going to say it again. People, you guys need to be safe. Please, 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 please listen to what medical professionals are saying. Okay? Don't listen to your buddy on Facebook that you went to high school with. Don't listen to even politicians. Just listen to what medical professionals say, because guess what? What they've been saying has been consistent this whole time, and they're saying it with experience and knowledge of what is going on.
With no hidden agenda.
Listen to them. They are out there, and the information.
And all politicians are liars, and they're all assholes. And I'm going to say that it doesn't matter what political party.
Well, or they're just misinformed.
They're both terrible.
Or they're just misinformed. Whatever. The point is, quit listening to your cousin okay, who didn't go to med school and doesn't work in a hospital, and quit listening to people who are not medical professionals. The information is out there, but you got to go to the source of people who know what they're talking about. People have, not everybody's like trying to lie to you, but some people have the best intentions. Seriously, people are talking about using a hair dryer to blow hot air up your nose, and that's going to kill the virus.
Oy.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! If my grandpa were alive, he'd be rapping you on the head with his knuckle. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Stop it.
Don't listen to Dr. Google, as Teresa says.
Ay,
Stay the hell away from Google. We all know how that works. Oh, you stubbed your toe and you have a hangnail. That means you have cancer. You've got 6 weeks to live. Go to WebMD. I'm telling you.
I mean, you guys have seen, like, not even talking about the virus, we're just talking about anything. Let's say something about reselling. You can have a thread in a group, and you will have all of the correct answers will be right there, and there will be the people who actually know what they're talking about. They will give the correct information, and then the thread will go on for another 100 comments of people saying exactly the opposite. And it's like, WTF? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
All right.
Just that's it. That's our PSA for the day.
Teresa says, "Wait, let me turn off my blow dryer so I can hear you." Yeah, because we're definitely not experts when it comes to any of this stuff, but I don't think there's anything irresponsible about me encouraging you to listen to medical experts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they're talking about. Just saying.
True.
Just saying. Got to go to the source. Don't listen to what somebody else is telling you. Anyway, so you just want to stay informed.
All right, let's no political in the thread.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. Everybody has different beliefs, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But we're just saying.
I think we can all agree.
No sticking the curling iron up your nose either, Emily. Knock it off. You weirdos.
Pretty much. Anyway, so any other questions, guys? Any other thoughts? Tell us what's going on. Tell us about like something that you've been doing. Like, we've been playing board games. We have friends that we play games with sometimes.
We play cards a lot with what we used to when they lived around the corner, but now they moved like 5 miles away and it's just too far.
But we don't, the two of us, like, usually we'll hang out, we'll have dinner, we'll watch TV. We don't play games. And so my question is, what have you guys been doing that maybe you don't normally do, that maybe now you're like having fun with your family? What are you doing at home now? What are you doing?
Susan Sanders is saying Windex cleans everything, like my big fat Greek wedding. Just for a little Windex on it.
But I want to hear what you guys have been doing with your kids, with your families, to pass the time, other than just like binge watching television shows.
Well, Sandra and her wife have decided to move this week, so that's smart. That's the smart thing.
So all their board games are packed. Boo! There's some fun games. What was that game that we played? Somebody in the chat probably knows. So when we went to go play trivia on the 12th, it turned out that they had canceled trivia. And so one of our friends, she brought up, it's the game that I think Ellen created.
Yeah, it's a trivia app.
Yeah, and you hold the phone above your head, and basically the other people try to give you clues, and then you guess whatever it is that's supposed to be on the thing. And if you get it right, you go down, it goes to the next question. If you get it wrong, you skip it, you go up, and it skips it. Or if you want to pass. Anyway,
Yeah,
somebody probably knows this game.
Rosie's Closet, Crystal has been sewing since I don't have any stuff for her to list this week. She's been making masks. She actually made a bunch of masks for me to send to a nurse friend of mine. She's a pediatric RN in Ohio. She is not working with COVID patients, but she is out of masks like a lot of places are, and they are having them bring in their own masks to work with their regular patients. So, if you happen to be able to sew, there are plenty of posts all over Facebook telling you where you can send these things and what type of fabric you could be using or should be using. They are definitely being used and they are necessary.
Yeah.
So if you can sew and you have the time to do it, then there's a bunch of free patterns online and stuff like that. I can't sew a darn thing. I can't sew a button. If I could, I would. I can't.
So Teresa says the game is called Heads Up, and Ellen is making the app free during this time with the coronavirus. So Sandra, if you don't already have Heads Up on your phone, download it and you guys can play it. It's really, really fun.
It is fun.
It's a fun game, and it's just something you can do on your phone. I saw where was it? S. Walter says, I've never cooked so much. My dishwasher's running 24/7.
We're cooking every day, and you'll watch us. We're just going to expand on the screen over the next few days, few weeks. But wait, we've been cooking every day.
Yeah. I tried out something that my uncle posted on the Facebook. Basically taking tater tots and you put them in your waffle iron, which is funny because we have a waffle
Shit.
iron, but it's like a Disney waffle iron.
It was for my stepdaughters. Yeah.
But anyway, you basically you let the tater tots defrost so they're soft, and you line them all up like as tight as possible on your waffle iron, and then you shut it, and it's like however long you want to put it in there, so it's nice and crispy. But it makes really good hash browns. I thought they were tasty.
Mother Deal says cooking Sunday dinners every day. Seriously. Oh man. But yeah, so I took on a big inventory project. I finished it yesterday. It took me about a week.
Yeah, so now your big project's done.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it?
It's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah. I'm going to say that I don't know if I've known anyone who hates change more than you do. It's true. Look at her face. She's
Accurate.
like, yep. She hates change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I actually think.
Listen, you should be pretty damn grateful because I kind of blew up my world for you. There's not much more of a change than that. So.
Well, I must say I have to be grateful.
That must be saying a lot.
You're saying I need to be grateful? I think it says that I'm very persuasive. So there. Mm-hmm. So there. How has your shipping been going today?
I'm not having a good shipping day.
I'm wondering if you'd like to make a public apology or at least a display of gratitude, because what have you done to me today?
I made you help. What?
Well, I've had to help with one box, but then there's another item now. What is it? What is this crap you keep shipping? You keep selling?
I sold a telescope. I sold a telescope, and now I have to Frankenbox something.
And I heard her saying,
"I don't have a box for this one either."
I hear her like downstairs cursing, and I'm like, I don't know why she's cursing, because you know what she's gonna do? She's gonna be like, she's just gonna come to me and be like, I can't find a box, and that means I have to go and like build the box.
Mm-hmm. I sold the telescope, and then I sold this big, huge scrapbooking Fiskars organization rolling luggage thing, which is just. It's enormous. So I needed a 24 cubed box, and I had like a 22 cubed box. So yeah, it's big, it's heavy. Now I have to figure out how to get it into the truck, and now I have to go drop it off at FedEx. So I do get to leave.
Sorry.
I get to
What
leave.
do you have to do?
We have to go drop it off at FedEx.
No, what do you have? You have to figure out how to get it into the truck?
Yeah.
No. You know, you stand back and go, I can't do it. And then I do it.
Uh-huh.
You have to figure out. Ridiculous. Diane says she's gonna make lasagna after the show's over. We might have to have lasagna tonight, but we just got like a frozen lasagna from like the Stofers or whatever, from the store. We're not actually like making lasagna, but I think
The Purge. We had a fun new game called The Purge. Yeah, she's the first one out.
What? Okay, but then you'll have to do everything yourself. That's the thing, guys. I can bug her and drive her as crazy as I want, because the reality is she would be in a pretty shitty situation if I was gone. Like, she'd have to deal with her own IT.
I would just have to switch to hiring people to do everything again.
Yeah, she doesn't pay me anything. Anyway, so yeah, I think we'll do lasagna tonight because it's just an easy, like, throw it in the oven. I will say one nice thing that's come out of this whole situation is that I'm eating hot dogs for lunch every day.
Gross.
I like hot dogs. I gotta say, guys, I like hot dogs. Okay,
Listen, favorite. Kara, I'm home all day. I can touch my face. It's okay.
Yes.
You don't want to touch your face when you're out in public and touching.
If you've
people.
washed your hands and whatnot, you can do whatever you want. But anyway, guys, hot dogs. Tell me your favorite hot dogs if you like hot dogs. I usually prefer the Hebrew Nationals. I think they're delicious. But guess what? What are the what's the main brand of hot dog? Ballpark, right? Ballpark hot dogs. They have ones that are the Angus beef ones, and those are about as close to like a Hebrew National as you can get with the Ballpark. But I've been eating those. Little chopped onions on top. Little chopped onions.
Oh, Vicky is making
a little bit of
cookies,
spicy mustard, and a little bit of sriracha.
Okay.
So rude.
Nope.
I like hot dogs. Dogs are good.
Nope.
Oh, and see, Crystal says better cheddar dogs. So they didn't have hot dog buns when we went to the store, so we have hamburger buns. But I did yesterday. I melted cheddar cheese on the bun, put the hot dog on there, put my onions, put my mustard.
Hebrew National with Miracle Whip, split down the middle, fried in the skillet. Oh my God, I'm gonna gag. Blech.
Wait, who?
That's like fried bologna sandwiches. Our gross friend Teresa.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
So I made chocolate chip banana bread actually last week. My banana bread came out crappy, so I may have to make banana bread again. I used a recipe that I've used for years and years and years, and I don't know why it didn't come out right. So
I don't know. I don't know. But our friend Hadassah, she has her own catering company here, and she does a lot of meal prep stuff for other people. And one of the things she sells every week is her challah bread. Challah bread. She's Jewish. And she only charges $5 a loaf. So I actually bought a couple of loaves this last week, and she brought it over and dropped it off, and it was like fresh out of the oven, hot, and like it was so good. And then yesterday or day before, I made French toast with it. Very yummy. Just talking about food, guys. Just talking about food. Your favorite. Anyway.
Let's see. There's another thing in there.
Mike has sworn off.
Did you ever
tubular meat?
Bear Kitty said, "You ever see The Great Outdoors and what they said about them?" Yep, lips and a-holes. That's what I say about hot dogs all the time.
I don't care. Whatever. I'm okay with that. I don't see the problem. It tastes good. That's all that matters. I don't like the cheapo ones, but like I said, the Angus ones taste pretty close to the Hebrew Nationals, and the Hebrew Nationals are.
Somebody's definitely allergic to hot dogs. What? Scroll back.
Yeah.
Diane. That's a weird allergy.
Hot dogs?
That's a weird allergy.
I wonder if it's like the
nitrates.
Yeah, stuff like that. There you go. Yeah. Whoa, your stomach just went
growling. I know, I'm hungry.
You like that? Anyway, Allison, you're a jerk. So I predict you only have bar-ass hot dogs available shortly. So rude. So rude. I do like turkey hot dogs too. That's what I used to eat, the turkey dogs a lot. But yeah, Nathan's are also similar to Hebrew National. Yeah, they didn't have the Nathan's or the Hebrew Nationals when I was at the store, but they did have the Angus ones. So I was happy that they had those because they're pretty decent. So
all right, crazy people.
You shut your mouth. See, now Liz wants hot dogs for lunch. I'm telling you, hot dogs are yummy. Okay. And the big thing is you gotta have the chopped onions on top and no ketchup. Don't be a savage. Kids eat ketchup on hot dogs. Adults with refined palates eat it with mustard, preferably spicy, not yellow.
And we've got our vegan and vegetarian friends in the thread that are completely skeeved out by all this hot dog talk right now.
Whatever. They have vegan hot dogs and vegetarian hot dogs. Yeah, Sandra says she gave up. Oh, I hit the wrong one. She gave up tube meat too. That's very inappropriate.
You guys are bad. All bad. Dirty girls.
Antique Boutique says, I've been pigging out on PB&J sandwiches.
Yummy.
Hey, it's not a bad idea.
I'm almost out of fluff though, so PB&J and fluff is my favorite.
Maybe you should talk to Dana and say, hey, remember that bed I'm giving you? Maybe she bring me that thing of fluff.
That's a good idea.
See?
I'm giving her a bed. She's got to give me back my fluff. I brought it back over a year ago.
Give me back my fluff. Anyway.
All right, kids.
All right, guys. We got a little bit of time left. If you got anything else you want to chat about before we
Mother Deals made hot dogs and beans last night with brown bread. I have cans of brown bread. I bought them in Rhode Island a couple of years ago, last time I visited. Not last time, but one of the times I visited. Brought them home in my suitcase. Don't ask me why. I haven't eaten brown bread in forever. But I said to her when we first had this whole thing, the shutdown in the grocery store, I'm like, well, we've got brown bread in a can. You may have to try that shit.
No. Ooh, Trish says that she can ground ship some fluff to you.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't act like you're not impressed and not excited.
Angela said
Trish, do that. She
had to mute to get on a conference call, and she can kind of tell what you're saying because you're so animated. That's pretty sad.
Why is it sad? You're inappropriate, you ass.
Barbara, what is brown bread? I will send you some.
It's in a can. It's bread in a can.
It has like raisins in it. I don't know how to.
No, it doesn't. Does it?
Some does, yeah.
The ones you have don't. The ones we have. Or at least it doesn't show that in the pictures.
It comes in a can. I don't know how to describe it. It's brown bread in a can. It comes out with the ridges on it, like jellied cranberry sauce does. You're supposed to slice it and you heat it with butter. It's actually good. I don't.
Is it anything like party pizza?
Yeah, it's the Mother Deals. You're so good. You fry it in a pan and add butter. Exactly.
Is it like party pizza?
I don't know.
You jerk.
It's not like party pizza.
All right.
It's like fruitcake, but in bread form. Yeah, kind of, sort of. It's like the Spam of bread. Well, if you've actually had it, it's not as bad as any of those things.
I like Spam. Fried Spam is yummy. Whatever. Why? It's okay. Spam is basically like hot dog meat, only in a can, and then you fry it up. It's yummy. You think you're better than everybody else? Is that what you're trying to say?
Spam and Scrapple. Oh, geez, you guys are all nasty.
Allison says,
I can't be friends with any of you people anymore.
Allison says my ex ate hot lava and thumbtacks because she's a devil. That's what the devil does.
She dines with my ex, apparently.
Scrapple's good too. I don't see anything wrong with that.
You people are all weird.
Whatever. Fried Spam is delicious. I used to have it because my uncle is Japanese, but he's from Hawaii.
Well, I thought I was hungry until you guys started talking about Spam and Scrapple and chunky Vienna sausage. Oh, God.
Anyway, my uncle is Japanese, and he was raised in Hawaii. And so when I would go hang out at their house, sometimes he would fry up Spam like in the morning, and I loved it. It was good. Ren Eckerson says Spam, some parts are meat.
It's true, Nate. It is true.
Anyway.
Well, we got 100 people watching with us.
I think a little quiet.
Yeah, a little quiet for a Wednesday, but I am glad that you guys were able to join us and have fun.
Well, I don't know about if any of them had fun.
So Vicky asked, do we have lucks with offers to lookers or offers to buyers? Yeah, I actually have very good luck with it. I'm not going to say that it's like I don't know what the percentage might be that converts to purchases or converts to sales, but I will say that this is the time to be using that. If you do not use offers to buyers or offers to lookers often, this is the time to be using it to generate some activity and some offers in your, some sales in your store. Don't do a 10% offer, $5 off or something like that. That's the thing. If you are using it, you need to use it aggressively. I find a much higher conversion rate when it's at least 20% off.
Yeah,
at least. And generally I already run a 20 to 30% off sale in my store. I'm offering another 20 to 30% off when I send those offers.
I will say from a buyer's perspective, when I get those offers where it's like 2% more off or whatever it is, I'm always irritated that I'm getting a notification because I'm not interested. Allison says, let's revisit what we will eat now in 6 weeks.
It's true. That's true. We'll talk.
Anyway, I think we're going to sign off now. I know I need to finish up my shipping. I got a few things to ship. We got to figure out your stupid telescope bullshit.
And go drop off.
And go drop it off.
At FedEx.
And somehow we're going to have to, I got to eat some hot dogs in between there, in betwixt. Anyway, yeah, so we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. Hopefully you're all hanging on, getting stuff done, staying positive, but also being super safe and cautious.
Wash your damn hands.
Do all those things at the same time, guys. Because, you know, I'm not somebody that panics, but I also am somebody that likes to be informed. And people seem to think that, like, oh, if you talk about it a lot or informed about it, then you are like hysterical. And it's like, no, you can be positive. You can have a positive attitude and be optimistic, and also be being very cautious and informed. It's possible to do both, right?
Oh, Sandra is listening to her neighbor's very loud afternoon delight.
Ooh.
I'm sorry to hear that, Sandra. We're drowning them out. Maybe just turn up some music.
Maybe turn some music on. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. We'll be back on Sunday for sure for our Sunday live haul, which will not probably include any haul at all. But whatever, we'll be hanging out. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Have a good day. Bye. Hump day. It's hump day.